Hello and welcome to today's PowerUp session. These sessions you can come along and bring your ad campaigns and we can take a look at them and I can give some advice on how you can get better results. Before we dive into that, I'm just going to go through some meaningful metrics because I know in our ad campaigns, sometimes the reporting table can be very confusing. So we're going to go through setting that up and making that more meaningful. So remember the first rule of Fab Ads Club, don't touch anything that works. If something's working and we want to test it, we always duplicate what is working. And the second rule of Fab Ad Club is campaigns are literal. So if you want leads, you need to select the leads campaign. And that's where you would select that there when you go to set your campaign up. So today we're going to set up our reporting metrics table. I'm going to do that on a live demo and we'll have the Q&A session at the end where you can come along with your results and I can help you get better results. So when it comes to optimizing results, there are some key success drivers and these determine what you can change to affect the results of your campaign. So the first one is audience. So who are you targeting? So just making sure that that is correct, or maybe you want to test that with a different type of audience to see if you can get a better result. So messaging, what are you saying to the person or what is saying in the ad? Because we want that message to be really compelling and for people to stop the scroll and take action. And the next one that's probably even more important is media. So what graphics are you creating? And the last one is optimize. So we want to test and measure and see that we're getting the best results possible. Now, when it comes to our results, these are some terms that you might see in your ads manager. So there's the cost per result. So that is the cost per whatever result you set in your campaign. So if you set up a lead campaign, it's the cost per lead. If you set up a sales campaign, it's the cost per sale. Now, CTR is click-through rate. That's when your ad is shown to a number of people and then what percentage of those people took action. And landing page views is when people went to your landing page from your ad and actually landed on your page. And then the frequency is how many times people are seeing your ad in one day. Now, the metrics to watch is the cost per result. So this is the cost per result, or whatever that result is. So that might be a sale or a lead. So we want to look at that cost per result. Now, people always ask me, what is a good cost per result? What is a good cost per lead? But it will be different for every person. There's so many different factors that come into play, like your niche, how competitive your space is, what you're saying, what your offer is. There's so many different things. What could be a good cost per result might be good for you, would be different for somebody else. And it also depends on how much your budget is and things like that. There's no such thing as what is a good cost per result. Obviously, the lower, the better. And then when you're getting things like $1 leads and things like that, as long as they're good quality, then that is a good cost per result. So that's the other thing to consider, that it is determined by the quality of that result as well. Okay, landing page views. So if you're getting a lot of landing page views, but not so many leads, for example, that can indicate that there could be a problem. So just say 100 people are going to your landing page and only 10 people are filling out your form for your lead magnet. That would indicate that there is some type of problem with people coming from your ad and going to your landing page. Maybe the form is not at the top of the page, or maybe there's something else to look at. So that would indicate a problem. Click-through rate, if it's less than 1%, we need to change out the graphics. So it means that people are being shown your ad and they're not taking action. And frequency as well. If it's greater than 3, it's an indicator to change out our ad graphics. Okay, so when the ads are published, we want to look at things like, can we make our audiences broader? This is going to affect the results. Do you have 3 different creatives in your campaign? So maybe you only are running an image ad. Could you add in something else like a carousel or a video? Are people watching your video and not taking action if you do have a video? Is the form in the top fold? That's really important when you're sending people from ads to get them to become a lead. And can you experiment with the title of your offer? I've seen this work really well where the lead magnet didn't change, but people changed the title of what it was or what the offer was, and that affected the results. So after 7 days, if your cost per lead is falling, then look at scaling your ad by increasing your budget by 20%. Okay, let's get started and dive into our table now. So this is a campaign that I ran back in August for my my Show Up Showdown challenge. So I just wanted to go through these with you and show you how I set up my table here. So what we want to do is go into columns and we want to customize our columns. So the ones that I want to add in is the click-through rate. So all you do is just search here and type it in there, click-through rate, landing page views. You want to add that in, frequency, add that in. And I like to add these in. They're not always relevant for a lead campaign, but I'll show you what that means in a moment. And then you can do checkouts, initiated, and purchases as well. And then you can add ROAS in if you are running a sales campaign. So I just want to apply those. Okay, so for this particular campaign, I got 59 leads. So it was a lead campaign. It was to get people to sign up to my challenge. So I sent them to a page with a form. And then the cost per result was $16.95 all up for the campaign, and $1,000 was spent altogether. The click-through rate overall was 1.75%, so I was targeting the right people. The frequency was 1.89, so had that been 3 or greater, I would have known to change out my graphics. Landing page views was 105, so it's roughly a 40% conversion there. And just interestingly, so after this, I made an offer to people who signed up to the challenge to sign up to my Fab Ads Club, and 22, or actually, sorry, it was an ads done with you on Zoom session. Sorry, it was a lifetime offer for my club, and 22 people initiated checkout and one person purchased. That was a sale of $1,697. So yeah, a good return on spend, but it grew my list as well. And there were other sales as well that didn't happen within 7 days. So what happens is when someone sees my ad, if they made a purchase or initiated checkout within 7 days of seeing the ad, then that is what is calculated there. So this is not a sales campaign, so that's not all the purchases that happened in the time, but it just shows that there was at least one purchase from someone who signed up to the challenge and then made a purchase within 7 days. Now, when it comes to the ad sets, I separated out countries. So because America is a bigger country than Australia, I separate those out. So I did, and I was also, I was really targeting cold people that had never heard of me before. Whereas, yeah, some people in the online Australian course creator world, these signups were warm people that were already on my list as well. So yeah, with the US, it was a lot higher, but I didn't mind because again, I was warming them up for this challenge. So that, yeah, they'd never heard of me. They've now joined my list. I sent them a bonjoro and I started a connection with them. So if they then go on to purchase something from me, it's going to be worth that $26 that it cost to acquire them. Australia was a lot less at $12.50. So these were the other secondary metrics that were happening as well. So it was the Australian course creator ad set where people were initiating checkout and where that one purchase came from. And then at the ad level, we've got the ads there. So it's the cost per result. And then you can filter them by highest to lowest or lowest to highest and take a look at those there. So yeah, I had one reel, I think it was the US one, it was quite expensive there, which affected the results. So yeah, you can just take a look at those. But yeah, again, the checkouts, initiated and purchases are more just for information at this stage. Whereas the other metrics can determine if you need to make changes to your campaign or not. So I just wanted to go through another client. This is my longest term client that I have, Sharon Colin from the Functional Family. And I've been running Sharon's ads since, yeah, October 2021. So she has 4 campaigns running all of the time, just on $5 a day. And then when she's in launch time, she does run other ads as well. So she has a podcast subscribers ad, So that's her leads that she's received all time at $1.19 cost per lead. And these are all the secondary metrics as well, which are all tracking well. But I just wanted to show that even though we're not going after purchases, but there still has been a purchase from someone who became a podcast subscriber within 7 days. Yeah, so it's not always relevant for the entire metrics of that, but it's going to show what's happened within 7 days. And then she has her lead magnet called 7 Steps. And yeah, the purchases conversion from that is quite high as well. But again, it's not the goal of the campaign. The goal is to grow her list. And the added bonus is that they then purchase something, which is her membership when she launches. Yeah, she's tracking at 56 cent leads. Her market is very different to mine. Hers is people or families that work with children that have ADHD. So yeah, different market. But yeah, that is, and she's been running ads for quite a long time. So she's built up a big audience. She has a big, strong list. So yeah, her lead cost is very low. Now, post engagement, these are ads she runs all of the time just to warm up new people to find out more about her. And these are blog posts that she sends people to. So it's just a post on Facebook and Instagram with a link to a blog post. So 10 things I want my kids to know, yeah, about making friends, I think it is, or this one's how to be a friend if you're ADHD. So both of them, yeah, really low cost, $5 a day, but have really impacted growing her list and her ad costs. So they would have attributed to these low lead costs now that we get, because we've built up those audiences of people who now know a bit more about her. And she says that when people sign up to her membership, they always comment about these posts that they have read and seen. And then you can see there, again, is not indicative of all of the money that she would have made, but you can see that some money has come in from people who have seen those posts and then made a purchase within 7 days. Yeah, really great results there for Sharon.